Hello and welcome to the Weeb Years, a look back at the media and culture of the Western anime boom. I'm Beanie.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Editor Beanie. Alright, so here's the deal, y'all. The original intro to this episode was me performing basically a poem made up of different Daft Punk songs and album titles, and it wasn't really clever or funny so much as it was just super cringe, so we're just gonna all pretend that never happened, alright? Anyway, we're talking about Interstella 4-5 today.
So, Baby Laurel was obsessed with, two things, and those were Animal Planet and Much Music, which was, Canadian MTV. And I would just sit and watch music videos for hours growing up. It was my favorite thing to watch on TV. I'm sure I'd seen some Daft Punk stuff, but when they really came into the forefront was when Kanye West's Dropout came out.
When they came to the forefront for you specifically, you're not trying to claim that Kanye West is the reason Daft Punk is popular.
I mean when that album dropped and it was at the forefront of the zeitgeist.
Yeah. So firstly, let's get Daft Punk out of the way for the two people listening who don't know about Daft Punk. Formed in 1993 by French musicians Thomas Bangalter and Guy Manuel de Homem Christo. I definitely fucked at least one of those up. The two went on to revolutionize the music industry, combining aspects of French house, disco, techno, R&B, and more. Their first album, Homework, selling over 2 million copies.
Okay, sorry, I had to look up how these names are spelled because... Yeah, you got the first one right. I think the other one is supposed to be Guy Manuel de Homem Christo.
Oh, it's Guy. Sorry, Guy. My apologies. My apologies.
Apologies nuts. I'm sorry, Daft Punk.
Sorry, Daft Punk. Sorry, D's Punk.
Sorry.
In 2001, Daft Punk released their second album, Discovery, to even more critical acclaim. The album contained what have become some of their most well-known and beloved songs, such as One More Time and Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, which Homestuck fans will know as the song everyone making character theme song videos on YouTube picks for Equius.
Ha!
During recording of the album, the duo decided they wanted to produce a companion film to go alongside it. Originally, it was going to be live action, but after realizing it would cost too much, they switched tracks to animation instead. After considering a few different animation styles, they eventually landed on hiring the prolific Leiji Matsumoto, who created some of their most favorite anime as children, which is adorable.
I didn't know that! That's so sweet! Oh my god!
It's really cute. As for who Leiji Matsumoto is, this man was an icon of the anime scene in the 70s and early 80s. He was the mind behind series such as Captain Harlock, Galaxy Express 999, and Space Battleship Yamato. He's known for his distinctive character designs, recurring themes of romance and sacrifice, and really loving space operas.
I mean, when you're able to put out works like this, I think you're able to just choose a genre and sit in it personally.
Oh, yeah. In 2003, Interstella 4-5, which, yeah, I always said Interstella 5-5-5-5. Turns out you're supposed to pronounce it 4-5 already then.
Not 6-7, 4-5.
I'm burning you at the stake. Interstella 4-5, the story of the secret star system, was shown at the Cannes Film Festival, which was shortly after followed by a short theatrical run and later home video release. It was written by Daft Punk and their creative director Cedric Hervet and produced by TWY Animation. 3 years before the full release, 4 segments of the film were released as music videos for their relevant singles and were shown on Toonami.
I cannot get enough of the art in this. We'll get into it later, I'm sure, but oh my god, the visual style. Oh my god, 70s anime.
We put a short pin in that. We'll get to that shortly, don't worry.
Yeah.
Now, you brought up an interesting concept before we started recording of viewing this whole thing not as a film necessarily, but more as just a series of music videos. And this also might be jumping ahead a bit, but I do think that is a good way to go about engaging with this piece.
That was how I went about engaging with it, because, that's how it's structured, and it's also meant to be watched in isolation to some extent. I don't know if all of the music videos are actually the Interstella 4-5 sequences, or if some of them actually have, live music videos,
I think it's only those 4.
Okay.
I don't think any of the other songs from the album have music videos. I think it's only those 4.
Then yeah, I think they're meant to be observed as standalone if you were to just watch a music video in the wild. Wherever you would watch a music video in the wild. They don't do those dances anymore.
Out in the jungle, out in the music jungles.
Did you in the States have, like, the music video dance things that they would do?
I don't know what you're talking about, but that might not be an America thing. That might be a me not getting out enough thing.
Well, there were, like, these... I never went to one of the dances, but there were always, like, big pop-up, like, dances with giant movie screens that they would put music videos on while people danced. It was, like, a lot of teens.
I'm sure that's a thing around here.
Yeah, I don't know.
The film opens on a distant alien planet where a band is playing to a massive crowd. Now, the band's original name, if they even have one, is never given, but later on they get called the Crescendolls, so we're just gonna default to calling them the Crescendolls.
I think it's supposed to be Crescendolls. Like crescendo.
I'm sure it is, but that's harder for me to pronounce, so fuck
okay,
off.
You are welcome to say it however your gay little heart desires.
So the Crescendolls are playing to this massive crowd, and they're loving it, but suddenly, oh no, evil space ninjas show up and kidnap the Crescendolls. As this is happening, a distress signal is sent out to a lone pilot named Shep. I found out afterwards in the wiki that his name is Shep, that's hilarious, who just so happens to have a massive crush on the band's bassist, who rushes out after the evil space ninjas. Except, it turns out, they aren't evil space ninjas, but evil Earth ninjas. The Crescendolls are taken back to Earth where the owner of a record company wipes their memories, brainwashes them, and changes their appearance to resemble humans, turning his new slaves into the hottest band on the planet.
It's all very haunting. Like, it feels remarkably grounded and scary and like a genuine... It felt like me watching to like a raid happening at a club and like these people being taken hostage. Like, it starts very dark in a very dark place. And it gets crazier, but it really sets the tone.
The metaphor they're going for here is about as obvious as you can get. Like, record companies sucking the soul out of artists and turning them into puppets for profit. This is nothing groundbreaking, but it's at least being presented in an interesting way.
I think there's some other metaphors that are thrown into the mix as well. There's a lot of tones of gentrification. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just a consequence of this other main theme of having all of the personality and all of the history and the culture sucked out of these people by the record companies.
I don't know about gentrification, but definitely cultural appropriation.
Yeah, that might be a better way to put it. I meant more so like they were taking these people, like, in the way that, like, a melting pot sort of gentrification, where you're making these people assimilate.
Oh, yeah. So, when I first watched this movie, I was joined by my boyfriend and a friend of ours. And before the movie started, he asked, are we doing the dub or the sub? Turns out the answer was no.
No.
I didn't realize that this is essentially a sung-through jukebox musical.
It's an opera,
There is
technically.
no spoken dialogue whatsoever.
It's a space opera, but in the literal sense. No, because, like, isn't the difference between an opera and a musical that a musical has speaking parts and an opera is just all singing?
No, there's plenty of like I said, sung through music. So, something you might not know about me is that I fucking love musicals.
Me too. What's your favorite musical?
Oh, that is probably a toss-up between Chicago, Sweeney Todd, or the Beetlejuice musical.
Oh, good picks.
I also really like The Prom and Into the Woods. The Prom's really fun.
I'm a simple bitch who likes girls and murder. I like Heathers and Chicago.
Also good
Legally
options.
Blonde.
Oh yeah, the Legally Blonde music. I still haven't listened to that. I need to get on that at some point.
There's a good pro shot on YouTube.
Oh, hell yeah. But no, I love musicals. I don't really like sung-through musicals. Stuff like Hamilton or Les Miserables. I prefer when musicals have spoken dialogue because then when a musical number does happen, it feels more impactful. That is just a me thing, though. Like, it was certainly something that impacted my enjoyment of this movie, but I'm not going to pretend mine is the common consensus, so I won't call it an actual criticism either.
I actually feel like I prefer a sung-through musical, just because you can listen to the whole album and not miss anything.
That that is a valid take.
But, like, I feel like it makes it a little bit more accessible if you can't go see a production.
Yeah, that is a big issue. That's why I'll always defend film adaptations of musicals. Like, even if they tend to lose a little bit in the translation, and some of them are objectively inferior to the original stage performance, being able to see a stage performance of a musical is a bitch. And so if somebody prefers the film version of Sweeney Todd to actually going and seeing it on the stage, I don't really feel like it should be criticized.
Oh, 100%.
Now, unsurprisingly, a big part about whether or not you're going to enjoy this movie is whether or not you're a Daft Punk fan. So for you and me, most of the conversation is just going to be about the visuals, and I feel very conflicted in that regard.
How so?
So, okay, artistically, this movie looks fucking incredible. I adore the retro-style Matsumoto character designs. The alien planet looks fantastical and gorgeous. There's a ton of just, like, really fun little visuals. Like, the Crescendol's home planet has rings like Saturn, and when the movie opens, there's a shot of it spinning from above that looks like a record spinning.
Yeah!
Or when the band is having their memories wiped, the machine doing so looks kind of like a VCR or a tape recorder. That's all super fun. Like, there is very clearly a lot of love and thought and, like, real artistic talent behind this film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you wanted to speak on that at all.
I was waiting to hear the but, to be honest with you.
But then at the same time, the animation quality leaves a lot to be desired. I don't think the budget for this movie was enough to do it justice, because it looks more like cheap TV animation than it does film level animation.
It does. I don't think that bothered me, though, because it's such a unique concept in and of itself. Like, I feel like the concept really carries a lot of this for me.
Yeah. And, like, the visuals are so high quality that it definitely can make up for the poor animation. But at the same time, I can't help but think about how much more visually impressive it would be if the animation was up to the same snuff, you know?
I also wonder how much of it is the way that this was archived, because when I was trying to find a version of this to watch, it seemed like the highest version available was like 240p, and people were manually upscaling it and posting it elsewhere. I watched a 1080p manual upscale someone did. I saw there were some AI ones, but I wanted to do one that was done by a person.
Yeah. The characters also suffer from that early 2000s digital anime thing where everyone is rendered super glossy and plasticky.
Again, it's interesting because it's like, it's that effect, but it's a very 1970s style, so it feels very otherworldly almost, but I don't think that's intentional. It's aged in a very interesting way because of that, but I don't think it's intentional.
I definitely see what you mean. Like, there's a number of anime from the early 2000s that were like remakes or reboots of much like decades older properties. Like, do you remember like the 2003 Astro Boy anime or the
Maybe.
2003 Cyborg 009 anime?
Maybe. I feel like if I saw the Astro Boy, I'd recognize it, but I can't think of it in my mind's eye. I didn't watch it.
There is something very charming about seeing those like 50s to 70s style character designs in a then modern animation level.
Yeah, but I think that I don't know if it's a budget issue or if it's like a format issue. Maybe if it had been on Cell, it could have looked a little bit better, but it's really hard to say because we don't know where this fell short.
This whole thing reeks of just they didn't have enough budget, which is really unfortunate because you can see a better version of what this could have been in your brain, you know? Like, all of the pieces are there. They just needed a little bit more time and a little bit more money.
I'd be so okay if they did a reboot of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy shit, that would be great.
What sucks is that probably the worst looking part of the movie is the very first musical number. The movie opens with Around the World, which, I will be clear, is a banger, but like a third of the sequence is reused looping animation, and it just feels so cheap.
I was having too good of a time. I was really just holy shit, they've launched us into crazy world building here.
I don't know how much much you're going to agree with me on this one, but this first scene also kind of gives away the biggest flaw of this movie right from the get-go. Daft Punk songs, for the most part, are super repetitive, and they're designed to be that way. It's club music. It's meant to get you out on the dance floor and have a constant jam going for 4 to 7 minutes. But most of these songs just do not work in the context of what's basically a musical. So many of these scenes just drag and feel like they go on twice as long as they should, because the songs don't have any like dips or high points or anything. It's just consistent the whole way through.
I think they could have done interesting stuff with it if they had the resources and the energy, and they could have done better. They didn't.
Yeah, and Around the World especially, again, objectively, a banger. In this context, so repetitive, goes on so long. While we were watching it, my boyfriend said, this feels like I dropped my phone under the bed while watching a TikTok, and it's taking me too long to find.
I think with the repetition, they could be doing it in a really interesting way if they were like paralleling the different visuals and sequences that they were using in a way that, like, if the visuals were repetitive but changed in a way that made them substantial, so that it was meant to be like, oh, this part of the song is paralleling this, or if they did really well looping animations and continued to use them. But what they ended up doing, it feels a little like they don't really have much to do with each other at times.
The fact, oh my god, okay, I was gonna save this for a little bit later, but that has gotta be my biggest fucking complaint of this entire movie. Most of the time, you actually see the Crescendos playing the songs. The animation does not match the music that is being played at all. What the fuck are you doing?
There are a few songs where I noticed they were synced particularly well, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger being one of them.
Oh yeah.
Like that one is really well synced.
That's synced to the animation.
Yes.
Animation, there's no animation of like them playing music.
No. What I'm saying is that not all of them are made equally.
Yeah, no. Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger is just objectively the best part of the movie.
Mm-hmm. It's really satisfying to watch. Like, go watch that right now. It's worth it for like 5 minutes of your time.
So eventually, Shep manages to free the Crescendos from their brainwashing and tells them the truth about where they came from, but in the process is mortally wounded and eventually dies. After burying Shep, the band travel to the evil record company owner's lair, and okay, here's where shit gets wild.
I mean, you're omitting some of the wild parts there. There are cyborgs at the record company. There's a car chase, which is how he gets injured, which is pretty crazy.
Okay, yes, they're like, okay, this whole movie is wild. There's some bonkers shit that happens pretty much the entire time, but this next bit, specifically the big reveal, got the most of a response from me and my little watch party.
Are we trying to go spoiler free for this at all?
No, it doesn't fucking matter. This dude, the evil record company guy, turns out to be an immortal named Earl de Darkwood, who for hundreds of years has been kidnapping musically talented aliens and brainwashing them to become some of the most famous artists in history, such as Mozart, Ella Fitzgerald, Jimi Hendrix, and Janis Joplin. He has been doing this so he can perform an ancient ritual where, after collecting 5,555 gold records and sacrificing all of the musicians that won them to a volcano, he can conquer the universe?
Oh, is that what he's trying to do? I don't think it's ever clarified in the source material itself.
The band manages to defeat Earl de Darkwood and his cult, because of course he has one of those.
The cyborg cults.
Cyborg cult, yes. And afterward break into the record company's offices to steal back the discs containing their memories. In the process, however, the band's true identities are revealed, and the nations of the world unite together to triumphantly send the Crescendos back home. The film ends with the band playing together on their home stage, with the performance being broadcast across the universe. Except no, it fucking doesn't. The film actually ends by revealing that the entire thing was the dream of a little boy who fell asleep listening to Daft Punk's Discovery album while playing with his alien toys.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was what that was meant to imply, or if that was meant to be like a kid in the universe who was a fan of the Crescendolls, because why would the Crescendolls exist as plushes otherwise?
It's implication, but the word implication is lowercase and in big air quotes. Like, that's definitely what was going on.
Yeah.
I will say, I can't be too upset about this twist, because usually the problem with it was all a dream reveals is that it makes everything you just experienced feel pointless. But there's not really a lot to connect to narratively in this movie anyway, so it's mostly just silly.
Yeah, it didn't bother me much, really. Like I said, I think there's a couple ways you can really interpret it. I think what you said is probably the intended, but I like my interpretation better, so fuck you, Daft Punk.
Now, what I can be upset about, though, is that this movie decides to have the second to last musical number be a fucking clip show recap of the events of the film.
Yeah!
Like we're watching a fucking Disney Descendants movie. Between, like, I get it. They wanted to have a companion piece to the album, and they wanted every song in the album to have a sequence and everything. But, like, between the clip show and all of the looping and reused animation on certain ones, like, some of this movie just feels so cheap in a way that almost makes me angry.
I had too much of a good time with it. Like, they reused animations and shit, but everything else going on is so crazy that I'm living watching this movie. I eat this shit up. I think this was made specifically for me, and because of that, I'm too biased and can't see any of the flaws in it.
That's completely fair. Like, this is something I can see, like, especially like a younger Daft Punk fan. Like, this is the kind of thing where when you're in middle school, this is a change your brain chemistry kind of piece of media.
I felt like this was changing my brain chemistry when I was watching this now, and my brain is a fully developed adult brain, so do with that what you will.
There is a lot to appreciate about this movie, for sure. Some of its high points are very, very high, but it has so many low points, and those low points go so low. I don't want to say that they shouldn't have bothered, but I do wish more effort and more time and more money could have been put into it, because this just smells of wasted potential.
Oh, 100%. And I think too, I wish this had like a broader impact on the industry, because I think for what it is, it's really novel and really cool conceptually, especially with the context of it being written by like the Western band and then developed into an anime by TWY Animation. Like, I love shit like that where you're really just taking people from across the world and just going fucking nuts with it.
I think you mean around the world.
Around the world, sorry, might be. And like,
stupid.
This is such a cool concept that a lot of people really could have jumped on, but I really can't think of many other things I've seen like this, other than individual music videos, not a full, like, album. And I know that some artists are now doing, like, more, like, film adaptations of albums. Like, I think Halsey did one a few years ago, for instance. But, like, the idea of that, but animated, is so poignant to me, and I want to see more of it, and it feels like this was, like, a one and done and nobody touched the format.
The only other things that I can really think of that even come close to this are the Beatles' Yellow Submarine and what is it? Epic, the musical, that like TikTok musical about Greek mythology, where it's like all animated shorts that people do.
Well,
those are the only two things that I can think of. I think they did just get like an actual film deal though. I'm pretty sure like an actual Epic movie is being produced right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Gosh, I sure am bored. My favorite podcast only uploads every other week, so all I can do until the next episode comes out is cry into my Haruko Haruhara body pillow.
Reverse those tears back into your eye holes, sad listener person.
We're here to solve all your sadness problems.
And also promote ourselves financially.
Oh my gravy! It's Beanie, Laurel, and Maymay from the Weeb Years, my favorite anime podcast I was just crying about.
Silly listener person, didn't you know that the Weeb Years has a Patreon with tons of exclusive bonus content?
You get access to exclusive recordings and videos, read the notes we take while doing research,
Plus, you can get new episodes 3 days early. That makes you better than everyone else for 3 whole days.
Wow, that all sounds so cool. I wish I had the $100 a month it costs to access all those amazing extra goodies.
Silly listener person. You can access all that fantabulous bonus material for only $5 a month.
Sugoi!
Haha, never say that again.
Just go to patreon.com/theweebyears to cure all your boredom and sadness forever.
Sorry about your wall, by the way.
Hey, Laurel.
Uh-huh.
Guess what?
This is a trap.
No, it's time for the retro views.
Oh, phew. Okay.
The first one that we have is coming from our good old friend Zach Bertsky from Anime News Network. We saw him in the Chobits and Angelic Layer episodes.
Oh, the ones I wasn't on, but I still watched.
I would hope you did. Basically, if you're a fan of either the band or the designer, you don't need to be told to run out and buy this. Interstella 4-5 is beautifully animated, fun to watch, easy to get into, and surprisingly hip. Anime, while it is swiftly becoming cool, has never really entered the realm of hip, which is something completely different. Interstella 4-5 brings anime into the world of designer clothes, limousines, and celebrity, and it seems a perfect fit. This film seems to belong somewhere right outside the definition of anime, like Miyazaki's films. It transcends the media cliches, but owes a great deal of its success to what came before it. Once again, I love the early 2000s thing of Miyazaki is the only thing we are capable of comparing anything to. It's funny.
Comparing this to Miyazaki in particular is crazy.
And also just like this whole review, I don't mean this in a mean way, Mr. Birchke. I love you. But what the fuck are you talking about?
It's been 20 years. He's
what
grown,
are you talking
about?
It's just I do kind of get it. Like especially at the time period, anime had a very particular image, especially in the West. And this certainly would have been outside that. You know, this was probably at least a few people's gateway anime. Like there had to have been a bunch of Daft Punk fans who watched this and were like, oh, this anime thing seems cool.
Oh, probably.
The next retro review I have comes from Nick Dawson of Empire Magazine.
Okay.
I've said it before, but this is one of my favorite things about doing like big anime films on this show, because when we get to the retro reviews, it's not your typical just A&N and my anime list, but you can also get like the fucking Chicago Tribune or the New York Times, and those are always really fun.
Yeah, it is really interesting in the sense that I think this hit a lot of demographics that anime typically wouldn't, like you were saying, and as you pointed out.
Yeah. Mr. Nick Dawson gave the movie 2 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Though the pop world in-jokes will raise a smile, the film fails to appeal to a wider audience, as the plot and graphic style are reminiscent of second-rate Battle of the Planets 70s kid shows. Fine if you like the band, you'll be treated to some cartoons playing over top of their Discovery album. For everyone else, just daft. I think Nick here is overly harsh, and I don't appreciate him taking shots at the animation style, but I gotta give it to him. That last line is pretty good.
It's really good.
Now, unfortunately, this story does not have a happy ending.
Oh no.
In 2024, a 4K remaster of Interstella 4-5 was released at a number of film festivals and later theatrically. The problem, however, is that it was done using generative AI.
Oh, I thought that was a fan project. I didn't realize that was like an official thing.
No, Cedric Hervet, the production director for Daft Punk, said that the reason they did this was because the film's original masters couldn't be recovered. But the final result is just such a wet fart of an ending in the legacy of this whole project.
It raises a lot of interesting questions too about like what steps would you have to take for that to become ethical, and how many of the people involved in the production would you have to get consent from before you did this in order to be doing it in a way that's responsible and ethical? And they probably didn't do that. There's no way they did that.
I am very firm dying on the hill of fuck generative AI, no matter how, air quotes, ethical you go with it.
Oh, 100%.
And like, I don't know if appreciate is the right word, but at least he had a reason beyond just, I don't want to pay people to do the work. Like, the fact that they couldn't get the original footage and all that, like, but at that point, just don't do it, man. If the choice is using generative AI or not doing something, just don't fucking do it.
I mean, there was a 1080 version that someone did manually that they could have worked something out with.
Here's the thing. Daft Punk back in like 2000, 2003, whatever, they had $1 bajillion, but they still couldn't allocate the budget to make this film to a level that I at least would consider more respectable. Today, however, Daft Punk has like $50 bajillion. If they wanted to, they absolutely could have funded just an entire fucking remake of this film with significantly higher animation quality from scratch.
My dream is that they do that and like make up for the AI upscaling shit that they've done, but I don't know that that's a realistic expectation.
People using generative AI is gross and sucks. Artists using generative AI is grosser and suckier.
Yeah.
Also, I love how that statement kind of implied that I don't think artists are people.
It's true, we're not. Everyone on this podcast is an artist and none of us are people. We're all just creatures.
Let's push past our disappointment about the AI thing. For the regular, non-corrupted version of the film, do we recommend this today?
See, I'm biased because I loved this so much. And I'm going to be showing this to everyone.
I think that means your answer is yes.
My answer is yes, but if you're not me, probably no.
I recommend this to myself.
I recommend this to myself and forcing people to watch it with me.
Just as an excuse so you can rewatch it.
Something about like those 1970s like anime women does things to my brain with like the beautiful curly hair and the big shoujo eyes.
7 feet tall with eyeballs 2 feet wide.
Yeah, that's my type. Otherwise, I think you can probably just watch like Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger and call it a day. That one is like really, I think, the highlight.
I don't really think I can recommend this one. It was fun in parts, but it has so many issues on the fundamental level. I can't imagine anyone except the biggest Daft Punk fans having a reason to watch the whole thing. Watch the music video for Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. That's the best part. That's all you need.
I do also think this would be really fun to put on in the background at a party or something, though.
This isn't a film. This is decoration.
It's a great decoration.
Moving on from a great decoration to a great declaration, I declare that you should follow the Weeb Ears at Blue Sky. Nope.
Don't follow us, actually.
I goofed that hard. You should follow us on Blue Sky at Weeb Ears.
We also have a Patreon that you can check out by going to I'mMyMom'sTampon.com.
Oh, god damn it. I forgot about that already.
I was so excited for this episode just so I could say that.
If you haven't listened to our End of Evangelion episode yet, I promise that makes sense in context. If you'd like to send in a listener question or give suggestions, feedback, any of that, we also have a mailbox, theweebeers@gmail.com. Other fantastic ways to support the show include sharing the podcast on social media, telling your anime-loving friends about us, leave a comment, leave a review, etc. We have a great time doing this stupid little show, and the more people that listen, the more we'll be able to keep doing this.
It's always so exciting to see what people think and are engaging with too. Like, I always love seeing all of the YouTube comments. I say all of, like we have more than like 2 per video, but shut up, I like all of them.
Shout out to everybody who actually says hi in the comments.
I think my wife posted an essay on the Haruhi episode.
Oh boy, did she. Good night, everybody.
Bye!